it foggy outside. All the planes have been grounded. Ain't the fire inside? Let's all go stand around it. Funny, I've been there, and you've been here. We ain't had no time to drink that beer.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Sandman podcast. I am your host, Brian W. Tosh, joined as always by our resident hack checker, Oliver Fullington.
Yo!
Our producer and co-host, El Hilo del Hack, Tyler Fullington, and the man whose stories got stories, the hardcore icon. He's got 99 problems, but bananas ain't one. The Sandman. Hack, how the hell's it going today?
Oh, dude, my brain's finally starting to relax, after, a couple weeks at a Super Bowl, because that's all I think about, when I get up and the replay's on every day, all day and stuff like that. So, but now I'm finally all right, let's worry about the next season. How are we going to spend that extra $25 million that we're getting, that the cap's getting raised this year?
Well, so actually, they were talking about, they had one of the Elliott Shore Parks, one of the Eagles reporters or whatever that they have on the radio, and he was saying, yeah, the cap goes up by $25 million, but it actually only gives the Eagles roughly about $4 million. Because everything in the cap that's going up was already in
Howie had already worked it in there somehow, probably.
Expected budgets and stuff like
right,
that. So
yeah, that makes sense.
So it's not really everybody's just getting an added $25 million. I'm sure it's a little bit different for every team, but the way he put it, it was really only about a $4 million or so more, but I never have to worry about anything money-wise when it comes to the
There's
Eagles.
There's a couple of moves that we can do to restructure a couple of things and gain an extra $12 million in cap space that I saw today. Restructure a couple guys, extend Jurgens, and then you create another $12 to $13 million in cap space.
Was it Jurgens that just got his back operated on?
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be interesting to track that. And I know we have a couple big free agents out there, and next thing you know, it'll be draft season soon enough here too.
And a new offensive coordinator.
Yeah,
Got the all Italian squad, baby.
We do. Did you see the picture that was the mafia chart with Big Dom as the consigliere?
Yeah, it was all the Sopranos.
Yeah, it was great.
The Kevin Petula attendant.
Yeah, no Medigons on the Eagles. We want Italians only. But do you guys have a chance Saturday? Heck, I know you were traveling this past weekend, Saturday night and Sunday with the NBA All-Star, but also the Hockey Four Nations seem to have stolen the weekend from the NBA All-Star events, and they really created an event out of nowhere. Because their All-Star game format was as, blasé as the NBA's is, right? And they created an event out of nowhere that really tapped into a lot of, nationalism, pride, patriotism, and these players love playing for their country, and I know we love Olympic basketball, and this is something I wish the NBA would steal for their format, is create a mini 8-team tournament. You have 2 U.S. teams.
A lot of injuries, though, dude.
Yeah, I know the Kachuk guy's been banged up.
Injuries.
Yeah,
right.
The McAvoy guys probably could be out for the year.
That'll get him to shut that shit right down.
I guess. I know what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? Injuries.
You're not playing for a gold medal or anything. You're just
playing for nothing.
You're just playing for the pride, and it's cool, and the crowd.
And that's why they're playing so hard. It's you know what I mean? It's kind of weird.
Yeah, and 3 fights in the first 9 seconds.
That's crazy. It was awesome. And they were doing that skate around. They were like, you want to go? And they had that almost predetermined, that's hockey nature kind of. And
I would love to know the backstory with the 3 fights.
Well, that and they booed our national anthem,
Yeah, there was a lot of heat there. It was great.
And it was both Kachuk brothers.
Yeah, it was really awesome. And the NHL, obviously, they're out of the 4 majors in the U.S. They're the 4th league. But to tap into
pickleball's getting ready to take them over.
But to tap into something cool and energy, and the fact that they have a worldly league. A lot of it's Eastern
Literally
Europe.
a worldly league more than any one of our other sports, probably.
Right.
Right.
Baseball would be like
Besides,
the next.
well, and I guess soccer, if you want to even count that, but
Well, soccer doesn't mean shit here.
right, yeah, right.
Yeah, but globally on a scale it does.
Yeah.
Like biggest,
Everything.
biggest, but I think it's cool, and I think the NBA could tap into something like that because the league is just getting more and more, foreign talent. And, if you created something like that, like the Olympic basketball is like the highest level of basketball to me when these guys are just competing for their country. And the NBA All-Star Game format, I think today it doesn't work because back in the day, and Hack, you can attest to this, you didn't get a chance to watch a lot of these other players. Like, you weren't watching John Stockton and Malone on a nightly basis. So it was cool when you got a chance to see him in the All-Star game.
Back in the
And
day,
they
it was
actually played.
Who the frick are these dudes?
Right, now, I mean, you could see pretty much any NBA game you want any
On
night.
Twitter, a highlight of any guy, whatever you want.
Right, and that's the information age that we're in now, and it's a lot different. So I hope that they take a lesson from what the NHL did this weekend and
I
work
just
on
don't
their game.
understand the NBA and why the guys don't play. Like, what's the history of guys getting injured when they actually do play? Like, is there?
There
any?
is none.
Exactly. So what do we?
I think guys don't skip out on it as much as you see the baseball. I mean, I know LeBron didn't play this year with the ankle thing, which was very last.
No, it's not
minute.
about skipping out. It's just about
Actually
playing hard.
playing, actually
yeah.
playing.
Actually
competing.
competing in the game.
Right.
It's dudes, why don't stars do the dunk contest? You can't argue about getting hurt. Who the fuck has ever got hurt during the dunk contest?
Right. I think it's more about
They don't want to lose.
they don't want to lose and they don't want to look bad, right?
And none of them really want to play defense anyway, even during the regular season, whatever,
Right.
None of those guys are ballers.
Yeah,
They want to shoot the rock.
If you go and do the dunk contest and you don't do good, people are gonna forget about it in a fucking month.
Right.
Yeah.
No, they'll forget it by the end of the 3-point contest.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's first.
Who gives a shit?
Well, it's not like the following week they're going to be like, oh man, that guy sucks.
Yeah,
Man.
Giannis-
He didn't win the dunk contest.
Yeah, Giannis didn't win the dunk contest.
No,
he's a
he's just going to go poster guy next week.
Right.
And everybody will forget about it.
Yeah, I mean, I know in the game this year, like in-game dunking.
Too many stops. They were stopping for no reason, like in between quarters. Here, they're sending out some rock stars and shit
I
like
didn't
that.
even watch it because I knew I wouldn't enjoy the
Oh
event,
my
so I didn't
God,
bother to
it's
watch it.
fucking-
So
Stop.
I thought like the thought process behind the switch
was good.
was like in the right direction. You know what I'm saying? Like,
The young guys playing the old guys.
Yeah,
the Euros playing
and
us.
it did seem to be a little bit more competitive. But having a target score of 40 points, I mean, those guys put up
You do 40 in a
40,
quarter.
yeah.
Guys don't miss open shots.
Right, and especially if you're not playing hard, like.
Yeah.
So if you were gonna do that, I would improve the target score, like make that a little bit higher.
Double it, make it to 80.
Right, because, dude, they said there was, I don't know, maybe like 30 or so minutes of actual basketball time, and there was like 2.5 hours of bullshit.
I didn't even watch it because I knew I wouldn't like it.
I
knew.
watched it. I mean, there was nothing else really on.
Yeah.
So and I wanted to see the new format, but yeah. So I think their heart's like in the right place, but I think the problem if you do like an Olympic style thing, like you're gonna invite people to All-Star Weekend. Like if you did, like I saw Giannis say like USA versus like Europe or the world or whatever it was, but like. You might be finding guys to play for USA that don't really deserve it, or guys that to fill like a Europe squad that don't really deserve. Like, what if there's 20
guys are from Lithuania that really you can fill?
Yeah, like what if
Not
just,
many.
What if just that year there's only like 5 Euro guys that deserve it, and 20 American? Like, what?
That's a
how
good
you
point.
you know what?
That's a really good point.
How are you going to do that? That's the only way I don't see that panning out. Just because it's going to differ every year.
Yeah,
like,
I think just in doing something different where you create a competitive game and you want this basically to be an advertisement for your sport.
Sure.
This is your showcase event. You want it to be an advertisement for your sport.
All right, that's what the Globetrotters are for. You know what I'm saying?
All right, bring him in.
They need to get rid. They just need to get rid of this crap.
I'm fine with it too. Like
Do the 3-point, make the skills challenge way harder. You know what I'm saying? Like the Pro Bowl, they were doing some good stuff this year that I thought
they
too.
got rid of
you
the
know
game
what I'm
that was
saying?
fake.
Yeah.
How about the skills thing? Did you see Chris Paul and Wemby try to cheat?
It was great.
They tried to cheat.
It was
because
that's what I would do.
the rules were so stupid. Why wouldn't you try to cheat?
Right, that's what I would do.
Well, didn't the winners end up not really doing all they needed to do?
Well, Chris Paul and them got disqualified.
Yeah, but they intentionally like skirted the rules, which was smart because you didn't actually
Yeah,
make
that's
those
right.
shots.
That's right.
Yeah,
They ended up getting
they cheated,
DQ'd.
they tried.
That's smart, dude. Everybody's there to watch you go.
I know,
Like,
it's-
you can't hate Chris Paul for that.
Tell us how you really feel, Alan.
That's so stupid. Dude.
Yeah.
Like, you're supposed to showcase the game and grow the game, and then you go out and do that. Like,
Trying to win, dude.
does
Yeah.
it really matter that much?
Yeah, if you're a competitor.
Yes.
Yes, I would do
To
it.
me,
Okay, then win.
I don't want
okay,
to
then
lose to
win
you.
by actually competing the right way.
Yeah,
Not just throwing the ball up at the basket. like
Hey,
a
it was
loser.
within the rules.
it was
Yeah,
within
that's
the
why
rules,
Chris
but it
Paul
was.
doesn't have a championship. He's a fucking loser.
Ollie with the tape there.
Wemby did it too. What about him? He's a loser?
Oh,
Not
you think
yet.
he wasn't listening to Chris Paul?
He was listening to Chris.
Yeah,
but-
Chris was telling him.
yeah. So but-
Yeah.
Wemby's like, yes, sir.
Definitely.
Yes, sir.
Uh,
yes,
yeah,
sir.
the-
Wemby, not a leader. He's a total follower.
Wemby, the only guy
Total
who was actually
follower.
sweating in the All-Star game.
Well, we got the Four Nations
Who
final
was the only
here.
guy sweating?
Wemby.
It was because he had the fucking thing in his shoulder.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Al.
okay.
We were talking before the show. Wemby had the blood clot. Unfortunately, he's gonna be
Yeah,
out for
blood
the
clots
year.
give you
So.
sweat. Give you the sweat.
You had a 6-inch blood clot in your intravenous veins.
I'm just pissed off at the NBA right now.
Yeah,
It's
it
fucking horrible.
was not a good product ultimately, and that like if you're trying to make an event for fans, for the television audience, for people out there, make something fun, make something competitive, you got to do better because it certainly was a miss overall.
Yeah, did you see that thing that Paul George has, since he's joined the Sixers, has put out more podcast episodes than made field goals or something?
Hacks had more podcast episodes than
There he
Bump
is, on the
Staking.
screen.
Yeah, well, there's a little bit of difference there, but that's a little bit more
Wonders why I
context.
got so much heat with the picture fucking him on vacation.
Oh, with his woman, yeah, he's on vacation living the high
I know.
life there.
Everyone's like, yo, you should be doing wind sprints on the beach, dog.
With his pinky. What's he doing for his pinky there? Oh God.
Yeah.
Don't even get me
Sipping tea like Kermit with it up.
Don't even get me started on the Sixers. They're just sickening right now. This week on the show,
I do have it beat for 40 tonight.
well, I hope you
12 to 1 odds they're only giving.
I hope you hit it, Heck. We watched AEW Grand Slam from Australia. They were in Brisbane, Australia. Hack, I know you mentioned before you were on a tour of Australia once. What are your thoughts?
Dude, I watched the Phillies win the World Series with 3 Mets fans and me in a bar in Botany Bay, Australia.
Okay, and did you enjoy your time working in Australia when you wrestled? You didn't like being over there.
Because I wasn't with any of my boys. You know what I
Okay.
mean? I'm in a hotel room with a bottle of vodka every fucking day because you're only doing so. You're there like 2 weeks, but you really only got to work like 4 days.
Okay.
Well, yeah, it's not specific to Australia. It's just the travel that you didn't enjoy.
Yeah. To any of our Aussie listeners there that you
It's
just
a
got heat with.
16-hour flight.
That's an insane
Brisbane,
flight.
that was on the way there, Johannesburg to Newark.
Yeah, you probably
16
passed
hours.
yourself out for the entire thing. So.
Oh, yeah. I was alive for like 45 minutes of it.
They had a really big house here. I think it was
10,000.
That's a pretty big house for them. That's a good house for them. For AEW
AEW.
right now, yeah, that's
Yeah,
a good
pretty
house
much.
for them.
No,
That's a-
but that was like a big coup for them, wasn't it?
It was they originally, when they announced this card, they originally had a big stadium, and obviously ticket sales weren't at the point of filling out that stadium, so they moved it to the smaller building. And I thought
They
it
were
looked,
going to Kookaburra Stadium.
I thought it looked great on television, and I thought it was
Yeah.
a fantastic crowd. Like I thought the crowd, like we talk about this a lot, where WWE's been doing a lot of foreign shows. Anytime you give the audience that doesn't get a lot of wrestling, the crowd seems to be great in it. And I
But
thought
the
they were
one
awesome.
backstory about the whole thing is them using an indie ring.
Okay, let's talk about the ring because this was going to be the first
What is
thing.
wrong with you idiots?
Okay, so Hack, this is the first thing I
It's
got
the
to bring
first thing
up.
I noticed during the first match.
These
the
people
poles were all bent in. If you notice that, that's what making their top rope too tight. It's
Okay.
like stupid.
All these clowns on Twitter that were hating on the ring size I tweeted, go worry about the size of your bank account if you're worried about the size of a ring. It didn't affect the quality of the show whatsoever. I did notice it was a smaller ring because they're in the 20 by 20 ring, which is WWE
that's
size.
a 16-foot bumper right there, dude. You know, it's like 2 steps, drop downs like 1, 2, rope, 1, 2, rope.
Yeah,
Okay.
that during the first match, I was like, damn, that's a tiny ring, and I noticed that the mat was super forgiving. It had like a lot of bounce. The mat, I don't know if you noticed that, and the ropes were really bouncy.
Yeah.
I don't know if you caught any of those things too, but yeah.
So walk me through when you're somebody who's worked a lot of different indies right there, and you've worked a lot of different rings. When you as a worker, you get to the building, what do you take a look at the ring?
When I used to bump.
Right.
You know what I mean? Then I like cared. You know. But a lot of times you'll hear from somebody. They'll be like, "Yo, watch the pothole and the hard camera right or something like that." You know.
Okay,
what I mean?
so you'll hear a little from one of the boys or something.
Guys that are out there, because I wasn't ever the one to get into the ring like
Hit the ropes before go. Yeah, exactly. That's not you.
Not a single thing. No.
But at the same time, you're going in there with your body, and you want to be aware of anything where.
Yeah, but I'll figure that when I'm out there.
Okay.
When I do my first circle around the ring or whatever.
Gotcha. Or maybe like watching one of the matches to see if the ropes are a little loose.
Right away.
Okay. And like for you working in different rings, correct me if I'm wrong, like the ECW ring was an 18 by 18 like this was.
We had both.
You had both that
yeah,
and 20
but
by
at the
20?
end, it was like an 18.
And the WCW ring was an 18 by 18, correct? It was a smaller
I
ring?
thought that was a 20, but I don't know.
Okay. I've always thought
It's
that
hard to
was
understand because
WCW
the size of guys that you're in the ring with also.
true.
You know what I mean? That WCW, everybody there was bigger than me except the Luchadors and
Yeah.
Billy Kidman.
Now, Hack, is that something that would now, not you specifically, most likely, but is that something that would alter a match for people, you know?
Oh, yeah, for like 2 Luchadors or something like that, absolutely.
Right, because you need like some stability on those ropes to do a lot of your high spots
Or,
also.
or space.
Yeah.
Or whatever, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
And especially when you're hitting the ropes, like when you're getting shot in, and you might think in your head like my steps are normally this or whatever, you know, like it does play a role in the
I
performance.
noticed
and stuff.
it in the first match when Omega was getting shoot into the ropes. Like there was.
It's like, boom.
Yeah,
boom.
in that first match, it was like a little bit shorter, a little bit tighter, and like I know they tried to stay in the middle of the ring, but I felt like sometimes they were maybe like giving the guy space to run off, you know, like
definitely.
standing back instead of like being like dead center in the ring.
I thought it made the action seem faster. Like I actually kind of liked the smaller ring a little bit.
It helped the women out for sure.
Totally.
Absolutely helped
Yeah.
the women out. I did notice that. So let's get started here. First match opening up, you had Kyle Fletcher and Takeshita taking on Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay.
Ollie called that opening match.
We did
Because we were talking about what matches, what order we thought that they would go in.
Yeah, and that made sense to open, and obviously we had Tony and Mariah in the main because that made sense to close.
Yeah,
but
I missed the middle. I got the
middle
was a
the
little
middle
doubled
three. You could have went any order pretty much, but this was man. I didn't like Kenny's music. He came out with new music, and you liked his new music.
No, why would you even care?
Because the
Yeah,
guy,
I was about to say, I don't know.
because the music, Kenny's music, I always liked, and I don't know, I didn't like his music.
Now, I mean, that could be a one-off.
I
Like
guess
for this
for the night.
for
He
this
uses, like,
match
3 different
specifically, like him and Ospreay
Yeah.
teaming up, like against to cut, like it could
That's a
be
good
just a
point, John.
one-off, like for that.
Well,
so we'll
He
see.
uses like 3 different songs. Like he uses
Yeah.
one for like AEW, and then he'll use a different one for Japan.
Yes.
And it's like so.
Because usually when that song hits, you want the initial pop,
Right.
you know. And
You
this was
want-
like a little melodramatic. So to me, that makes it seem like it's more of like a one-off.
Well, and they know who the hell's coming out.
they do.
Well, you know what I'm saying?
Well, they
So
knew
you-
then
Right.
because
Yeah, because
the
it's
match was
already-
out. The other 3 guys were in the ring, so
Right.
they, you know.
Yeah, the crowd was super hot to start. Kenny, they really had a just amazing
We
crowd.
started out with the 2 perfect catches. That's when it was early before those 2 catches.
Yeah, Takeshita. Wait, was that? Hold on, I'm looking at my notes here. Kenny,
The double dive?
Oh, the double dive. Yes.
Yeah.
And then back in the ring, Takeshita cut off Kenny as he went for another dive, and then we got the double dive, and then Kenny almost kind of fucked up his dive a little bit there, but like you said, the catch was perfect on that one. The crowd was chanting along, "Fucked on Callis." And then it was just a lot of big moves, man. And Ospreay and Fletcher were doing just their incredible counter work. I mean, the work spot after spot, counter.
I know those two. Wow.
I mean, oh my
It's
God.
just a memory that you gotta. Those guys did 200 things.
Dude,
At
the
least
one
200 things in a row.
Yeah, at least.
the one set they had where it was like the fake power bomb, then the other fake power bomb, then the wraparound, like that whole sequence into the. What was the final? I forget what the final
Tony
thing
Schiavone
was.
would have known. I put that as in my note. He actually, dude, the guy's learning how to call spots now.
Yes, in
He
2025.
knows the names of ones
Yeah,
now.
if Nigel
You know,
will let him talk, that
6 months
stupid
ago,
fuck.
he didn't know all these names.
No, he was. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Ak. He's doing a great job, I think, Shivani. Will went for the hidden blade, but then Don grabbed Will's foot, and then that allowed Fletcher to take out Will, and then Takeshita went after both of them with a double German, which was awesome. I love that spot. That's like a total showcase spot for him. Will then hit the Sky Twister on Kyle Fletcher on the outside, and then Omega hit a powerbomb on Takeshita, hit a V-trigger, and Takeshita kicked out. There was just a ton of stuff. Takeshita hit a Blue Thunder bomb.
The V trigger, the knee right after Ospreay pulled Fletcher out of the ring. I honestly wish the match ended right there.
Wow, that would have been short, though. I feel like you want to give these fans a real something. And
I know. I was just really hoping that it ended there because, like,
It definitely could have.
they were out there so sweet, like, and no falses.
Like, what?
Like, no falses. Like, hit them. Like, and it was a great. I mean, it was a great
It
finish.
would have been
like,
a gas pop. It would have
Yeah,
been
like.
what the fuck did I just see?
I was,
would've-
sitting,
Oh, shit.
I was sitting there watching it and I was like, please be three, but nah.
I do that same thing.
after that, the Takeshita and Fletcher did double tombstones for a 2 count. The crowd was going nuts at this point. And then Kenny threw Fletcher on the outside, and then he dropped Takeshita across the top turnbuckle. Will Ospreay did a huge flip dive onto the post on Fletcher on the outside.
That was pretty sweet.
But the camera missed it.
Yeah, I know.
The camera missed it, but
And
it
I
was
was
a great,
hoping we were going to get a replay, and we never did.
the spot was awesome.
I think the camera thought he was in the right spot, but he wasn't.
He was not, and it was a
Yeah.
great spot, though. I mean, really
But
awesome.
just like I put a note here for Shivani knowing actual moves now, the cameramen are way better than they were 6 months ago too.
Oh, yeah.
They're starting to do the cut right at the perfect time. They were always too early before.
And I think there was less cuts.
Yes.
definitely.
Yeah.
I can't stand
Yeah,
all the
but their
cuts.
camera cut is getting better.
Yeah,
It got
absolutely.
way better for that match.
The finish of this match was fucking awesome. They hit a hidden blade, one winged angel for the pin. That was a great
The double
finish.
team moves in this match, they had a couple of them for like both teams that were pretty good.
Yeah, like these guys. This was a
They
fantastic.
almost killed Takeshita with that finish.
Oh, you imagine taking
Close to
that.
landing on his head.
Imagine
dude.
taking
Very
that.
close.
I mean, man.
He landed right on the
Yeah,
top of his shoulder.
And honestly, it was pretty good timing. Like with the back elbow, the hidden blade into the.
Yeah,
that could have taken some people forever.
Yeah,
Right.
you could have fucked that timing up too.
Easily.
Like, yeah, that guy hitting you, and then that guy eventually
Or
comes
Kenny
over.
going down, and then Ospreay completely misses.
Yeah, it was
And then
pretty.
it looks
It was pretty
really
seamless.
stupid.
But you're watching two masters at work right there with Ospreay. You're watching actually 4 masters at work in the
that's
ring
funny
here.
you say that because I was just going to ask: is this the 4 best workers in the company?
I mean, dude,
I know. What's his
I
name's
don't-
pretty good.
I really like
Yeah.
Jay White. Jay White's
Yeah.
up there.
Jay
Jay
White.
White's right there.
I don't know.
Jay
if
White is right up
Kenny
there.
was a little blown up in this match.
I
thought so, too.
I have it in my notes
And I'm
that
like-
Kenny seemed a little bit off.
I know,
to
and
me.
I'm like, nah, it just must be me. I'm like, but I was hyper fucking focusing on it.
No, yeah, he seemed like he was either a little bit blown up or he's a little bit off, and I know he's like still like kind of getting back in the thing. And I didn't get to watch his one match that he had
With
in Japan.
Gabe Kidd?
Yeah, I haven't
Oh,
got to
man.
watch that. So, but I heard it was awesome. So
Incredible.
So I don't know if it's like him just trying to get his timing back, or maybe he wasn't feeling well or something. But like,
Dude, and then I watched his interview that he did with him and what's his name?
Ospreay.
He looked like he was selling something on that interview. He did.
well, the gut,
Yeah,
because
he
they
did.
were working the
but
gut.
not like a sell though. Like it was hurt. There's a difference to me.
Okay.
I think Kenny's doing, and he did this the one time when he came off an injury too. I think he's doing like a little like oversell, but like really selling it.
Right.
So I think part of it's like working off some of the ring rust. So if he's showing that he's blown up, it's to sell it.
Right.
I think Kenny's that good that he's like
Well, and
next
he's that
level.
I mean, he is that
Yes.
good. Yeah, he
So
is
I-
that good.
that's
so
the way I
I'll give him
interpret it.
credit for that.
That's
Yeah.
good business. That's
mean,
just really good business.
We'll see when he has the singles match with Takeshita in a couple weeks on Revolution. It seems like that's the direction they're going.
Yeah.
But for this match, I mean, I got to give it the full 5. I thought this was absolutely tremendous. And you're watching, like you said, are they the 4 best guys in the company? Are they the 4 best guys in the business? I mean, I don't know. They're like...
It's possible.
Head to head.
Because Fletcher's gotten really good.
He's gotten so good.
Yeah,
And
Fletcher has
he
gotten
was good
really
when I
good.
first saw him, but now it's like
I think he's always been that good.
Okay.
So when those two had that match like a month ago or 2 months ago, or
Right, and
the first match when he kept smacking his fucking leg and he gave himself a welt on his right leg because he was smacking his leg so much. That was a great match. We all loved that match too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm
You
not
know?
saying like he went from like bad to good. I'm saying like he went from good to great. You know, like his time,
them getting reacquainted.
timing's great, selling's great, everything, and
He dies a lot and then comes back real quick. I mean, he bumps great.
It's
like
kind-
the initial sell off of anything. He's got his eyes,
it's kind of the nature of the style that they do. You know,
Yeah.
it's like a lot of people are doing that
It's
now.
like,
Like
take
the
3
dad
Kenny knees, and then he's got to peel you up off the mat to do something. He picks you up over his head, and you spin it around and then with a DDT.
well, yeah, that and
Same thing happened in the
they'll
Mariah
like
match. too.
they'll like pick you up dead, and then they'll be like, ah,
Yeah,
like,
right.
you know,
Yeah.
like they're fine.
You can't go from dead to fucking Superman.
Yeah, it's kind of
You
just
didn't-
like
you
the
weren't-
style
You
of,
weren't Popeye
like-
with a fucking can of spinach right there.
or fucking
or Sandman
DiCaprio,
with a cigarette.
or DiCaprio in Wolf of Wall Street with the fucking
the bump.
with the bump of line when he's ripping the ham out of fucking Jonah Hill's
That's
thing.
freaky.
What do you give the match, Ollie?
I give it 4.
4.
I give it 4. I would have liked to seen a little bit more of a like traditional tag. Like I understand like the match obviously has to break down at some point,
Spot fest.
and just because of and that's just the way it is. But I would have liked to seen a little bit more of like a traditional tag, and maybe them like kind of play on like Ospreay and Omega's relationship, and like
Tease that direction.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. Well,
There was no heat.
There was no heat
Yeah,
section.
Yeah,
that's
like,
what
there
I'm
was-
saying,
yeah,
and
there
that's
was
why
no
I kind of
heat.
wanted a little bit more of the traditional tag way, so you could get that heat, and then the match breaks down.
Now, I think if you had a heat section in this match, it could have went 35, right? And I think maybe
They might have been crunched for time.
And
Yeah,
maybe
but where's the heat?
you do a little. I don't know. You
Where
work a
does the
leg,
heat
you
go?
work a neck,
And listen,
you work.
The reason why it wasn't like that is because like the build up to it. You know what I mean? You're not going to build up and do a tackle drop down hip toss. Those guys.
No, but you can work.
I know what you're saying.
No, but you can beat down.
But there was no semblance of like, hey, this is the beginning, this is the middle, this is the end.
No,
It
well,
was
I thought
go.
It was like all middle and end.
Well, I thought they started off great, and then they looked like they were going to break it down into a fucking normal tag, which I thought was good. But then it just went right back, like skyrocketed again. I
Yeah,
just
but
think like you might be able to beat down on Kenny a little bit and have Ospreay in the corner, like.
Right,
Like
getting the crowd
come on,
going.
like, and they're just like holding Kenny's face up, like in the corner, like come on, beating Kenny down, like Takeshita taking turns, him and Fletcher, just because they're both great heels, and obviously you have Don there with his Howie Roseman scar on his forehead, but like you could get some serious heat and still accomplish what they did move wise.
Well, I wonder if they decided to go in a more action aspect for the match, because they were following the NBA Saturday Night as a lead-in, and if you want to
And you
get,
only have 2 hours, and it's not.
but if you want to get casual fans, maybe like watching this, just give them straight
a
action
good point.
to try to
Yeah.
like win them over a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Hack, what do you give the match? Any other thoughts on it?
Dude, those guys to me knew they were going out there to steal the show.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's why there's a lot less bullshit than there is fucking action.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's an 11 easily.
An 11.
It just is.
Yeah, no, it just is. I agree.
Yeah.
Like that's wrestling perfection at work right
That's
there.
11
Like
bangers, dude.
11 bangers. Ty, what do you?
I'm gonna give it a 4. Like I think there's a lot. I think there's a lot better work in there from them. I didn't like I always said. I don't know. I just didn't particularly like how the match went.
And I didn't see enough.
I would have liked to see like more psychology like behind it. Is what I'm kind of getting at. Because I know they could do everything that they did, but I would just want to see it in a different way.
If you want to add psychology and still do every spot that they did, they'd be out there for an hour and a half.
No, but I don't think
They
you
could
had to
do
do
it.
every spot that they had to do.
Well,
You know
true.
what I'm saying? You
Well,
substitute
work
a
the
little
crowd
for
a little instead of doing 7
you
spots.
substitute a little for a little.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, well, it was fantastic.
Well, those guys, I want to see. I don't want to see them because tackle, drop down, hip toss is like them when they're 6 months old in life. It's like too babyish for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm not
I want you
asking
to
for that.
start out more like a strong match, like they did. That
Right,
was
I
just-
thought the start was great, and
Yeah.
then I thought they were going to break down into the more traditional, and then they just kind of did it.
Yeah, it was balls to the wall action. And how long did this one go, though, Ali?
21-20.
21-20. I
would
think
say 24.
if you had a heat section in it, you could have easily done 35. Like those guys could do
Sure,
40.
Didn't even it seemed that long to me.
It would have went. It
No,
would have
it
went
didn't.
30 if it was paper.
Oh,
Yeah.
is that bell to bell or does
Yeah.
those?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
bell to
All
bell.
right, that's bell to bell, and they had 5 minutes of freaking introductions.
Yeah. So
And
it was.
he took to himself.
Yeah. Up next on the show was Mercedes Moné and Harley Cameron for the TBS title. Oh, you didn't like this? I like this a lot, man. And
And it might have been the most mechanical match I've ever seen in my life.
wow. Okay. So
I
Harley
don't know how that girl's so over.
Harley is getting over with the crowd because
She's over backstage because she's funny. She can sing. She can do the.
I'm not talking about her. I'm talking about the girl with the 4 belts. I
Mercedes.
don't know how she's not. Oh, dude, she's so mechanical. She's like watching freaking Chris Jericho to me, or sometimes even Chris Candido.
Okay.
She's just mechanical, dude.
So you don't like either Jericho or Candido's work?
No, but they have a mechanicalness about the way they work.
And you're saying it's just not like authentic, kind of like organic,
Yeah,
I
if
guess,
you watch,
or
like if you watch Monet take those couples, just watch the way she takes a clothesline. It's so mechanical, it's a joke.
okay.
I mean,
It's like I'm a dead thing, like falling on the freaking ground, dude.
and
It's
I don't want this to
really
sound
much.
and I don't want this to sound the wrong way, but most women are.
Yes, but these two are bad, especially. And the other girl, what takes you 10 seconds to get to the top rope? That
Playing the crowd, dude.
No. She just shouldn't be going up there. You can every single time she was so worried about her feet placement, and then she had to get them both right on the turnbuckle when anybody would go from one on the ropes, one on the turnbuckle, and she's holding on to two of the top ropes while she's kneeling down, and then she stands up. So. Bleh.
I know what you're saying, Hack. It did take a little bit to get to it, but let's get to the recap here. Harley was super over in front of this crowd. She had amazing heat, like a really, really good like pop for her and everything. And there was a lot of heat for Mercedes Moné too. So the crowd was with them throughout this match. Mercedes did give her a lot. She took out the puppet, so she's been doing the puppet, and the puppet got a big pop. So I got to give him credit for the puppet and the spot later in the match with the apron with the puppet and her and the visual of that.
Pop it up. That's
Was-
great shit.
perfect
That's like movie shit.
Was perfect camera shot, perfectly executed
Yep.
in the match after Mercedes threw the puppet. They came back from the break, and Harley was going through her comeback, and then Mercedes did the Three Amigos. I wish that she would take that out of her repertoire, and I see this a lot when people do.
You take 4 of her belts out of her repertoire.
You saw it later in the main event too, where it's like they do a lot, and this is in wrestling in general. So I'm not beating up on the both of the women's matches here, but when they do this move spamming, it's like if you do 3 moves and it has the impact of 1, it takes away of that 1 impact if you just did 1 and had a big impact. I don't know. I'm kind of
I see the point there.
I'm kind of tired of like just doing the Three Amigos. I know it's an homage to Eddie Guerrero. I get it. I loved Eddie Guerrero too, but I don't know. She went for a splash, but then Harley got her knees up and was cradling
Yeah,
her.
they don't have any business doing the Three Amigos.
I don't think they
You
do.
know, all right, homage, no, bullshit. Save that for the guys.
Well, no, not safe for the guys, but I don't even think the guys need to do it either. It's like the
Some
move-
of them, if Ray does it, or freaking, or
Okay, well,
his
that's-
son does it.
that's a little
or
different.
how about the new guy that's coming in that they're pushing like to the
Penta.
WWE? Yeah.
Dominic Mysterio is the only one that should be doing it.
And he gets
If we're
heat with it.
If we're really
And I like when
Now,
Dom.
if you're a Guerrero, you can do it.
I like
He's
when
related to.
I know, but
That's the point.
yeah.
Nobody else is.
Okay.
I like when Dom does it because with each one he rises him up with, there gets more heat with it.
Yeah.
It's not just doing it for the sake of doing it.
Yeah,
which
and everyone else in the business should realize it and stop doing it, and he should be the only one doing it.
But he's so much more crisp at it. I was doing this wrestling, like I don't know. I've done so many different places. I think I was in Indiana, and I was trying to teach these people. They didn't know how to get up off the mat. You know what I mean? I said, listen. Watch Rey Mysterio get off the mat, and I said, all right. And then I was like, the Three Amigos. I said, I put these two guys that said they could do it, and I said, do it. And I want you to get up off the mat. Oh my God! It took them like 5 seconds to get up each time. You got to swing your hips. You throw your one leg, your right leg, way over top of on the left side of your body, and then you throw it way far right, and then you swing your hips and you stand right up with it.
Well, yeah, as and you got to be a cohesive unit.
And,
doing it,
yes,
too.
and now the guy's got to really put a little pressure against you because that helps you get up. You know what I mean? But I couldn't believe not one of them could do it.
yeah. Back to this match. Harley hit her high cross and then a destroyer, and Mercedes kicked out. I thought that was a really nice near fall. Mercedes hit her with a power bomb. And then the Meteora, and Harley kicked out. Harley was going for some cradles. She hit a really bad 619. I thought that was bad. And then
Oh my God!
Yeah,
the
it was
619.
Oh my freaking God!
The 619 was-
Oh, it was so. It was almost as bad as the finish.
It was slow.
The finish was horrible.
Okay, so Mercedes got her up for the moneymaker, and then just did not hit. And I think we've talked about this a bunch in shows, and
Lay flat.
I can only remember her hitting it clean like once or twice.
And it was to Statlander, who's the biggest chick that she's probably done to.
I know, and I'm like, man, you got it. To me, I've been really enjoying the Mercedes work. I think she's gotten it into another gear now over the last 6 months or so. But that finish, you got to get a new finish because if you don't hit your finish, it's just laying flat.
It's for naught.
Right.
But, like, I actually like how they got there.
Same.
The miss to the backslide to the backslide up to the maneuver, but if you're not hitting the maneuver, what you know?
What for what? Heck,
Right.
right? I mean, I don't know. This was the crowd was with it, so I can't.
It's like Jade's double pump kick. Like nobody's told her that like this doesn't look clean.
right.
Like not one time to Statlander, but everybody else has never hit clean. Like. Don't do the double pump kick, Jade. Like,
Yeah.
hey, Mercedes, like maybe change up your finisher. I don't know.
I thought Harley did bust her ass in it. I thought it was the best singles performance I've
how
seen
many
from her.
matches has she had?
She's pretty
Not a
green.
ton.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's pretty
Super
green.
Yeah, and I thought it was a really strong performance
Well,
for.
it's super green. Has she been through the school? Did you see her in NXT at all?
Well, this is AEW. I don't think she went to NXT ever. I don't know how many matches she's had in her career. It can't be more than 200. I don't think she's worked a ton.
No, and you
How
could
many
tell.
has she had in AEW? Do you know?
No, I don't. I don't think
Couple.
it's that many.
Yeah.
I
Less
think,
than a handful, I think.
yeah. So I for what it was, I don't want to just completely bash the performance.
Dude, they should have had her do. Ali says she does ventriloquist.
Yeah.
Put that in the match.
Well, they had the thing with the puppet. They had the puppet spot.
I know,
a little bit,
but
I know, but nobody can hear her.
Well, I was gonna
What's she
say-
gonna do? Pick a
I know
mic?
you can.
No, she needs a headset, like
yeah.
like in the ring, like in the headset, like where you
Well-
can turn it on and be like.
They did a good
Like-
package with her singing fucking a couple weeks ago.
She's super
Dude,
talented.
I thought it was a commercial. I didn't even realize it was the wrestling show because she started out singing. I'm like, is this wrestling or is this a commercial?
She is so talented.
Yeah, the ventriloquist is fucking hilarious.
She's not-
She'd never have to bump again.
Right. She's knocking at the door of something.
Just
right?
have the puppet do all the
She
bumping.
knows-
She could be the truth. You know what I mean? Just come out and have a thing with her in the ring like Roddy Piper and just have her talk you through the puppet the whole time.
Yeah.
Be fucking hilarious.
Yeah. What do you,
Well, I feel like she's kind of got, like, almost kind of like the hard part down, which is like knowing your character and knowing who you are and knowing how to get over.
Yeah.
She was working the crowd good in the match.
She was.
in ring stuff and everything like that, but
it's
she's got the talent and everything else.
yeah, and for
It'll
me,
come.
I'm going to give this match 2.5 stars for those reasons. Like I didn't think it was bad. I thought especially for the work that she put in, 2.5. Ollie, what do you give it?
I'm giving it 2.5, 2 3/4, right around there.
Hack.
Now that I found out the other shit about the girl, I'm going to give it a 3.
Okay.
About the girl that can sing and do the freaking thing.
Okay.
And she's
She
super
got held
great.
back, but Mercedes held her back.
And
She didn't hold back Mercedes in that match.
No,
I've
and she's
seen that match from Mercedes.
and she's probably got less than 5 TV matches in AEW. The other
Yeah,
girl,
that
so
girl, you shit yourself too.
Yeah. What do you give it, Ty?
And on such a grand scale because
Working in your home in front of your home country.
Yeah.
well, that makes it a hair easier because even if you really screw up, they're still going to go
Well,
with you anyway. They're not chance you fucked up.
Even with that 619, she's still getting over.
I know they were like, "Oh,
How did the announcers put it over? I'm like, dude, how did you just say she nailed
I
her
know,
with
but if you're
that?
an announcer, you can't bury it.
No.
I'd start coughing.
yeah."
Can't talk right
Well,
now.
we know that with you.
It was
Hack.
more like
I
a
mean,
6 minute 9 second 6-1.
What do you give the match, Ty?
I was with you guys on the 2.5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Up next on the show, Kenny and Will Ospreay, they were cutting a promo that we talked about already. And then Kenny challenged Takeshita for the title at Revolution. Ospreay challenged Fletcher to a cage match at the pay-per-view. I'm kind of like cage match for those two.
Hack said the same thing when
I'm like, okay, I know you have whatever stipulation matches, and we do too many ladder matches. So you're like, what kind of stipulation can I come up with? A cage match for those two. I know they're going to do some crazy shit off the top, right? But I'm like, it's kind of limiting for a lot of their skill set because you take away dives. If you take away, for the most part, with cage. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure the match is going to be tremendous. I'm interested to see what they do with that format. But I kind of am like, it's just, I don't know if I would have booked that.
and I was saying to Hack that we've seen all the in-ring matches that we can between those two.
Right. It's the blow-off match.
It's for me. It's more story than it is anything. You know, the bad blood between both of them, and you're gonna try and you're gonna keep Don Callis and Takeshita and the family out. Like it's more of a story thing than it is those two too. And like maybe honestly, it's like those two saying like, hey, they probably don't think that me and you can fucking rock a cage. You know, like tear the house down in a fucking cage match because all we do is, you know, jump, you know, maybe it's like a personal thing for them. But I just think I get your point, but how many times can we see those two in a regular match in a ring do however many spots or whatever? And
There's
I
other
just,
steps you could do. You could do a last man
Yeah, but
standing.
look at the dive that Ospreay did a couple weeks ago on TV. Dude,
yeah.
he was like 30 feet up.
I know.
That was like a Shane freaking McMahon freaking gimmick on WrestleMania.
Yeah,
I couldn't believe how high he was.
we're going to get an amazing visual from these guys in this match, like a highlight reel clip. I
Yeah,
guarantee.
they get like a 10-foot cage, and it's got like their last one they had. There was like a 4-inch like running board around the top edges of it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Well, I hope they
that'll help.
I hope they don't give them the cage that
But-
they had with it was Cody and
don't-
Wardlow.
But don't do that and say you can climb out of the cage to win, and then go up there and dive off the guy. If you're up there, you should be going down and winning.
yeah.
Okay.
Follow me?
Yes.
All
Yes. Yeah, I'm with you because that destroys the logic right there. If you do the escape cage
Right,
rules.
and they always do the look down like, should I just win?
Yeah.
Or should I fuck
No,
him
I
up
hate
and like
that.
dive on him like
I don't like.
Just be like,
I'm gonna go
Change
with
the jab.
So ECW, or not ECW, the WWF rules were always escape cage. That was their thing.
No, it was supposed to be locked, but it's never locked for some reason, Dick Worley.
no, and you can get out the door.
But it's escape the cage. I like the pinfall in the cage instead. It's like that's so much more cathartic for the conclusion of a match.
Yeah, but if you get them like getting the ref opening the door, then you get the run in where they slam the cage on your face.
Little free bird.
And the one guy's going over the top, and the other guy's climbing out the door. Who's gonna go out first?
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, they should do this with no interference, no nothing. 1, 2, 3, right in the ring.
I hope they do, and I'm interested to see what work they do at the pay-per-view for this one. So we'll see what they do. Up next on the show was Adam Copeland and Jay White taking on John Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli in the Brisbane Brawl. To start this one, man, the fans were as into Adam Copeland as I think I've ever heard him get a pop.
It's Cope, dude.
I'm sorry, yeah, it's Cope. I can't say, yeah, I gotta say Cope. You're lucky I don't say Edge.
Yeah, the rated R superstar cope, dude.
The rated R superstar cope, which I'm so tired of them saying, but
I know.
the fans singing along to his theme music was so cool.
That was good.
And you could see like it hit him as like a moment. You could tell he was
Yeah,
happy.
been there, done that.
Of course you
Easy peasy.
Of course you have.
The plagiarist.
Have you ever been in a Brisbane brawl hack?
Oh, is that what
Maybe
they
in a
call it?
bar.
Yeah, I was gonna say not in a wrestling.
Nope, I can honestly say I've never been arrested in Australia.
There you go. The
I was
fans,
only there for like maybe a month of my life, so.
this was a wild brawl. They did a crowd section. Jay White tried to get a table, and then Marina.
The cardboard table.
The table.
Those tables are weird.
Those tables were like, I don't know what those tables were.
The skinny plyboard.
We talk about the Japanese tables where they look super,
Well, you see
super
how they were
hard.
taking it easy on them. They, you know what I mean? When they were laying them on there, freaking.
Well, yeah, because
They knew how thin they were.
if you if you farted, the thing might have broke.
Yeah, they were not American tables. Marina Shafir distracted him. Copeland just broke his leg last year, and he did a running dive off the balcony onto Claudio. And I'm like,
Off the balcony, it was like a 7-foot high fucking a cinder block wall.
it was still a decent dive for him. I mean, you're scoffing at it over here, you maniac. I mean,
That's the man who tripped over the guardrail at WrestleMania weekend.
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying it. The first thing I was going to say was I was going to put him over for looking so good and having such a great match at his advanced freaking age.
no, he seriously did.
Right? He was great.
Like
So I want to put him over for that, but that dive was weak.
I liked it. It was a good visual.
I wouldn't
Dive,
say
but the
weak.
way, it wasn't like the way, dude. It was literally this.
Like it was New Jack on like Vic Grimes. Like yeah.
At this
demonstrating.
level on cinder blocks, ran 3 steps and landed on him right here.
Oh, for a
But the camera angle didn't let you see above or below. They just had his body going.
I know what you're saying, Hack, but for me, it's like, okay, this guy just broke his leg doing some insane dive off the cage, and yet he's still fearless in the ring. Like, he hasn't missed a step in
Dude,
terms of...
some guys are just dogs.
I know, and Copeland is, like, I mean, like...
Diamond Dog, mount up.
I haven't been the biggest...
No, he proved something to me last night. He really did.
I haven't been the biggest fan of the Death Rider story. And
that's horrible.
And Copeland to me is somebody where I'm like, I wouldn't have him in my world title feud at this point. But man, he brought it in this, and I thought his promo on Dynamite last night was awesome. And like, I'm starting to get behind the Rated R Superstar Cope a little bit. I really am, because I thought
I'm with you.
I thought he killed it.
I did too.
Yeah.
And with the finish, you know what's coming. What I called a couple weeks ago, the title change with Cope.
There's a whole bunch of work I want to get into this match first, because we'll get to the finish of this, because you got a lot of stuff in here. Jay White with the kendo stick hack. I'm sure you like that.
The kendo stick spot was great.
Yeah, he exploded it.
Yeah.
And I wish they had put the chick through the table. Not
will.
Cope. I wish they had put her through the
She
table.
deserves it for how the weak headshot she gave to Cope.
Well, I'm sure Willow is going to throw her through a table soon. That's
I
the
thought Jay
direction
White
they're
or
going.
I thought Edge was gonna, or somebody was gonna throw her through. I was hoping.
Spear through the table.
Huge pop.
No,
huge
I was
pop.
hoping the apron spot onto the floor. That is what
I
I,
know,
thought, but
either or.
yeah.
Yeah, but this Claudio's swing was pretty good.
I love this.
And then popping the chair in at the perfect time.
Yeah, Claudio missed a charge and then hit the chair, and then Jay White hit the Blade Runner. Man, when he hits the Blade Runner, I'm loving the way that he utilizes that as a finish.
Great timing too on that.
His timing for it, and it's
And you can do it out of nowhere.
yeah, it's similar to like the Diamond Cutter or the RKO, where I'm seeing him like, you could see that he's like coming up with different ways to utilize it.
But
Yeah.
you need a guy to take the bump.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's the same
like
reason
all
with
the guys-
Monet
it's
why
like
her
take-
finish
Just
is
take the
screwed
bump
up.
flat on your face. You're going to be okay.
Exactly. That's why. That's why none of those girls take it on their face.
Yeah.
Or just flat out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Copeland speared Claudio through the table in the corner, and then he speared Moxley, and then he got a chair wrapped in barbed wire. He hit Moxley with it, and then he went for a concerto, and then you got Yuta coming in for the save. Shafir hit Copeland with the briefcase, and then Claudio hit the neutralizer, but Copeland kicked out of that. And then Moxley just put him in a bulldog choke, and Copeland...
That was good.
I mean, he really had it
That was
cinched
real
in.
good.
And, like, you're talking traditional booking here, and you got the guy Copeland's getting the title shot. traditional booking would be he pins either Claudio or Moxley, or you do a schmaz finish and he looks strong. And they do the opposite. They have him lose clean, not clean because there was the interference of Yuta and Shafir, which
it's a no DQ.
no
but,
DQ,
yeah,
but he loses the match, and then you're still building him up as the challenger. So I was shocked by the finish, personally.
No, beat him down and then beat him down. And then beat him down.
But Cope and Moxley are facing for the title next pay-per-view.
I like it, though.
And Moxley's the champ.
Yes, I
that's
get it. Like
right.
he's saying, original Vince booking would have put
Cope
in one of the subordinates.
Yeah, and it's kind of like the show that we watched last week, where it's like we're watching you and the Gangsters, and I'm like, okay, Hack's getting a title shot coming up in ECW, so he should get the pin in this match. But like, you don't always have to go traditional booking, is what I'm saying. And I enjoyed the finish of this match. I enjoyed this match. I thought it was wild. I thought it was chaotic. I thought they hit their spots. I'm going to go 4 stars for this. Ollie, what do you give it?
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a good match, and even though that I feel like we kind of tend to have seen a lot of these type of matches from Moxley and who he's been with like recently, I like this match a lot more because it went short. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not brawling all over the arena for a half hour to where it's like,
too much.
yeah, can we just get on with it, guys? You know what I'm saying? Like, this went 14 minutes, so I thought it ran good on time. Everybody hit their spots, and it was good.
Okay.
So I give it 4. I
4?
thought it was good, yeah.
Hack, what do you give it?
Dude, the Claudio trash can spot, which was great. Claudio's head, the spot where the chair was there in the corner for a while, you almost forget about it. That spot was great. The finish was freaking great. I gotta give that like a 3-9.
3-9
bangers.
3-9 bangers. You don't go the full 4. You go
Nah,
3-9.
I can't give it full 4.
Okay, Ty.
Because the girl screwing up the
briefcase?
it was so weak.
Yeah.
It was just so pathetically weak.
Okay.
3.5.
3.5. Okay.
Oh wait, so do we think Edge is going over? Or sorry, Cope?
Cope, the rated R Cope.
Yeah.
No, I don't think he is.
All right, I called him being the one to
and then
take
Christian
it off, so.
and then Christian beats him. Is what
Yeah,
you're still sticking to that.
Yep.
I don't think you can do that. I don't think Christian's over enough to be a heel champ at this point.
He's still got the dented contract.
I know, and I don't think Cope is the guy you go
wait a
with.
minute, that's where I'm screwed up. I thought that dented contract was in the thing that she hit him with. So
No.
that's 2 different fucking.
No, isn't it the belt in there?
Yeah, the belt is
belt
supposed
is
to
in
be
the
in the
briefcase.
briefcase.
It's in there.
They carry the belt in the briefcase. They say you're not even good
yeah,
enough to
all
see
right.
it, so we don't even show
I mean, it's
Moxley.
just stupid that you got 2 angles running like that during your program.
Well, it's not necessarily. Well, fair, yes, but
The other one's on the back right now.
the contract,
kinda,
but
yeah.
the contract only makes sense if he beats Cope.
It does only make sense if he beats Cope, but I don't think
You know what I'm
want to
saying?
have.
Like, it doesn't make sense if if Mox like
My question then would be, what are you building to in your world title program? Is it a 50?
you could take right off him.
Is it a 50-year-old Christian and a 50-year-old Cope in your main event for your world title? Is that what you're running with? I mean, that to
I mean,
me.
those two. I mean,
No, I
dude,
think Moxley's got it for a while.
I mean, dude, have we ever seen Edge versus Christian?
We
Yeah,
did
in
it.
WWF in '95.
No, not 95, Hack. We did get to see them feud a little bit in WWF, yes.
Right, okay, all right.
no,
but-
but
but-
imagine those two now. Like, I mean, dude, there's heat there no matter what. Like,
No matter what,
you don't have to do a 1,000-star match between those two because the story's already there, the heat's already there.
I
Like,
put those two together before I put them against each other.
like those
Like
two,
they
and like
just did with fucking Omega and what's his name.
like have Edge take it like the Money in the Bank type thing. Like after he beats Mox, have Edge come out and beat him, and then put those two in like a dog collar match, and have like Cope take it back or whatever.
I'm not opposed to seeing Christian.
You're
and-
not a booker, dude. You've said that before.
I'm not opposed. I'm not opposed to
I'm
seeing.
on board with Todd's booking right
Well,
now.
no, I'm not
I
oppo-
think the fans would be behind it. Too.
I'm not opposed to seeing Copeland and Christian feud in 2025. I think they would do.
I am.
You are. I think ultimately the direction is to close out their careers, get them teaming again.
We're better off together.
Ride out in the sunset. Maybe
You can still do that.
right,
Yeah,
and you
but-
have to
Well,
get
yeah,
there.
I know, but can they be a baby team?
Sure, you could turn
Yeah,
Christian
that's-
baby eventually.
They're
Yeah,
the second.
yeah, you could.
You have Nick Wayne and the mom turn on
Yes.
whatever.
Okay,
and
there we go,
and
Ty.
then that gives Nick Wayne a push.
Yes.
And then in turns
didn't
Christian a baby.
You can go Christian face again after this run.
Didn't
You
Christian
can.
give Copa Concerto?
He did. He did all these things to him, but you can.
It's
this is
wrestling, Ollie.
Yeah, you start. I don't know. You
It's
can.
fucking wrestling.
It's wrestling, but that's.
You're right.
We'll see where it goes.
Let's go with it.
Let's go with it. We'll
Give
see
him
where.
the tag strap.
We'll see. Yeah,
Honestly, I don't even know if they really. I don't know what. The booking seems to be a little bit better than
does.
it
It's
was.
getting a little bit more
It is.
cohesive.
It is.
Yes.
It
So
is.
I don't
And
know.
that's why I'm like getting more and more on board with like the Moxley story and why, because it's like, all right, this is and because they're sticking with it. It's like, all right, this is the story you're going with, and this is what you're going to stick with, and just keep.
That's
going.
why I thought they gave him Moxley. They put the belt on Moxley, so hey, we can park this right here for a year.
we could stabilize right here,
Yep.
right now. Yeah.
And he's
Figure it
credible as fuck.
and get all of our other stories
And
together.
his body's together.
He
like,
is, and he looks great.
looked
I
unbelievable.
love Claudio.
He's ripped.
I
Right.
love Pac.
Moxley's doing like it's not a lot, and I know, and I'm not the
But he
biggest.
can do way more.
I'm not right. Yeah, he can. I'm saying he's
Like
not.
Japan.
He's not doing a lot, and I'm not the biggest fan of your heavyweight champ and the whole stable thing and what he's doing with it and like winning by interference like almost every fucking
too
time.
much heat. It's too much
like,
heat.
It's too much. But like Moxley's doing like really good work right now.
Yeah.
like super good work right now.
Maybe his best he's ever.
Yeah, like it's.
It's,
I
it's,
don't
it's
love-
up there to some of his earlier AW stuff too, which I would say is his best work. Or his,
Oh, wasn't he great in Japan too?
he was great in New Japan. His early Shield work when they first came in as the Shield and debut.
I mean, he's
I
always
keep
been
forgetting
great.
about that Shield.
Oh
work.
man, when he came in at the Shield, he was
Dude,
fantastic.
he's always been great.
yeah,
I mean,
he's great. Like
Yeah, I don't love the Death Riders thing, but Moxley himself, as part of the whole thing, is like doing just fantastic work.
yeah. So we'll see where this goes after Revolution,
Coke.
because we'll see. Go,
And I am his favorite wrestler, ain't I?
Yep.
yeah, you
or
are.
one of them.
Yeah.
He dressed as you for Halloween one
Yeah,
year.
there you go. He's like, nah, it's a 4 now. He's
That's not hard. Just walk out of the house looking like a hobo.
Right. Dude, I go to the ring as I leave my house. I'll get on a plane, be in the locker room for a couple of hours, sign for a couple of hours, but I might change.
Yeah, there's like 50. Half the people in the building are dressed like Hack.
That's right.
Look at my pictures from last weekend. I'm wearing the same clothes during the wash. I just emptied my suitcase. I'm washing them, and I'll be taking the same pictures in LA with the same shirts this
Half the
weekend.
people in the building are dressed more like Hack than Hack. They got his shirt on at least. This guy don't even have his own shirt on.
He doesn't at all. Up next on the show was Okada taking on Buddy Matthews for the Continental title. This is another showcase match for another Australian worker, Buddy Matthews. It's pretty cool to see him work in front of a hometown crowd there. And I thought Okada actually had his working boots on in this one. This is one of the times where he's actually trying in AEW, because I feel like he's kind of been...
Dude, can you even... it's so funny that you started like that. Because to me, it's like, I can't even tell on his face. Like, he's showing no expression, no nothing. And I was like, is he just mailing this match in? Or is he doing something? Or is he calling this shit on the fly?
I thought they were calling it on the fly out there a little bit.
So did I.
I thought this was like, we've seen Okada. Like, I don't think I've said this before. I don't think he's
His
taken.
confidence is just like it oozes.
Well, he knows. Listen, he has done so much that none of this, like, this is light work
This
for
is
me.
nothing for
This
him.
is nothing for me.
An English match is nothing for him in America compared to what he's going through over in Japan.
It's nothing. And it's
Especially
like,
with Buddy Bumps.
Buddy Bumps. Buddy Matthews is a guy who just, like, man, like you said it, Ty, like, bumps his ass off. Like, this guy
Can work his ass off.
can work his ass off, can do
Reminds me of a Chris Hammer type.
Chris Hamrick type, yeah,
And
just the crazy bumps.
And I actually liked him showing personality in this match. Coming at a little bit, and I don't know if that was like a product of him being in Australia. That he like either they gave him a little bit more leeway or he just decided to take the leeway himself. But I liked the back and forth him and Okada had. The
middle finger,
the middle finger
In the
and
beginning, with like the
back and
fucking
forth.
pushing each other. That's like
Right.
a strong Japanese match. That was
Dude, I
lovely.
think Buddy's got a lot in there. I'd like to see him and Brody like separated, and because AEW needs a big man heel another big man heel like Brody King probably, and I'd like to see Buddy on his own.
No, they got him, except what's his name is freaking using him, Jericho.
Oh, Big Bill.
No, but they need somebody who's like even like more heel than him, like
which Brody
even,
King could
like
be.
a more like badass dude than him.
Brody can work his ass.
I'm very excited for both of them now that Malachi Black has left, and they can kind of carve out their own names a little bit. And both of them, I think Matthews and King, it'll be interesting to see where their career.
Where did Black go?
Black is no longer
He's
in
a
AEW.
free agent.
He's a free agent.
Probably going to go back to WWE.
The word is he's going back to WWE. So
I actually thought that this would have been a perfect time for Buddy to go over and take the belt to give him solo single credibility. If you want to break them up from the House of Black and Allstar Black like leaving, and you're trying to push Brody and you're trying to push Buddy as like a single, Okada losing means nothing. Like that doesn't hurt him at all whatsoever. Doesn't really need the belt. It's the Continental Championship at the end of the day. So give it to Buddy, give him some credibility so he's like now his own man.
Yeah, but then it's going to seem like he got it. Well, the reason why Tony got it is because he's in his home country.
But I don't think that's the reason Tony got it.
No.
you end the show with the Australian big
But
moment at the end of it.
I think that's the reason why Buddy didn't win is because you already have somebody in your home country winning a championship.
Right.
So I just think that would have been a good time, minus if that
Would have
was
made him more.
Soon.
If that was a regular show not in Australia, I think that would have been a perfect.
Australia's pretty close to Japan, dude. Okada might not want to
I'm
do
just
his job.
saying- I'm just
4,000 miles away from his fucking
I'm
house.
just saying, character building wise, to like separate himself as like a solo person, like
It totally would, but I think the direction that they are going in clearly seems to be Kenny and Okada at All In Texas. And I don't think you want to have a loss for either of those guys before that. So I think you're going to do belt at All In and run back Kenny and Okada in America.
What belt's Kenny going to have?
Kenny's going to have the international title.
That's horrible.
Why is that horrible?
Because how many matches did these people were smart? All those guys have wrestled 1,000 times in Japan together.
They've only had I want to say five matches.
That's where I fucking saw the best work was in Japan.
I know.
Yeah, but not here.
You're talking about putting on a classic match in your biggest show possible for the summer. That's an awesome main event.
This is your WrestleMania.
You don't
then
like
who takes both belts?
I mean, whoever you want to put over in that match, does it matter? It's Okada and Omega.
Yeah, I know. But
You don't want to see Kenny Omega and Okada, who have arguably.
I've seen them already in Japan.
I know they had one of the greatest matches of all time.
So I don't.
So why wouldn't you run it back and give it again?
The same reason that I don't care about seeing freaking what's the name of the cage freaking coming up.
You don't want to see Ospreay and Fletcher in
Right,
the cage.
the same reason. That's stupid. That makes no sense. Them in the cage.
I can't wait for them to prove you
I
wrong.
can't wait for All In with Okada
You're
and
not a
Omega.
booker,
But back to this match. Okada hit a DDT on the floor, which was really nice. And then Buddy hit a superplex into a jackhammer for 2. And then he had on his Bay's prison lock move, Rhea Ripley finished.
That's her. I knew I seen that submission somewhere.
That was some
Yeah,
homage
it's
right
hers.
there. That was some homage to her. Okada rolled out of that and then hit a mule kick behind the referee's back, which was great, and then the Rainmaker for the finish, which that was
Was it behind the referee's back?
Yeah, it was.
The referee was looking right at him when he did it.
No, it was behind the ref's back, wasn't it? I gotta go back and watch.
Okada did it while they were face to face.
Okay.
Buddy was behind Okada's back.
That's right.
The ref in front of him.
The ref didn't see it because it was the mule kick. Okay.
I didn't even have that as a note.
Mr. Technical over here. If you did that to him, he'd be like, you know what I'm talking about. I'm 60.
No, I would be like, no, you know what? You're exactly right. I apologize.
Yeah, sure.
That's me, totally.
Yeah, Grandpa.
I thought it was a little flat for a finish, but I like the work in this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it.
I got hated finish.
I'm gonna give it 3 stars though. Ollie.
I'm going 3.5. If the finish was better, I probably would have pushed it up to a 4 even.
Yeah, I think I would have too. The finish was so
Dude,
flat.
Buddy had some good finishes. He had a good series of some false finishes right there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought everything.
there,
I thought their
the
timing
finish
was
part.
good. Everything they did was tight, and besides the finish, it was just kind of like abrupt and like, that was it.
Yeah. Hack, what do you give it?
Ah, shit. I give it like a 4.
Okay.
4 bangers.
4 bangers. 4 bangers. He's got to go bangers for this. Ty, what do you give it?
I actually was underwhelmed. I think these guys have like way more in the tank.
I do too, and that's kind of why I was 3 at it. Like, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I think.
They got a 5-star match in there.
Oh, totally.
Yeah,
Totally.
I thought this could have.
Okada did nothing.
He didn't
Yeah,
have to.
I know.
I
I thought this match could have easily stole the show. Like looking at the card.
How long
And
did this go, Ollie?
13.
Yeah, it was a little shorter. Not that you got to go long to have great.
And they were in no hurry to do a goddamn thing.
No.
Right, and I actually like the finish because you kind of keep Buddy strong with Okada cheating to win. If you're trying, like I said, trying to push Buddy as like a singles competitor, like you have a champion cheating to win against Buddy Matthews. So, but they got more in the tank. I'll give it a 3.
All right. Up next on the show, this was the main event. This was Mariah May taking on Toni Storm for the
Timeless Tony Storm.
timeless Tony for the AEW Women's Title. Tony's music started, and it came on for her original Tony Time song.
Well, dude, Luther came out.
Luther, that's right, in the Usher outfit in the crowd, which was awesome. That was a great visual of
Not
Luther.
Usher Raymond, like a stadium Usher.
That'd be odd if he was dressed as Usher Raymond. But
I didn't get it.
oh, okay. Well, it was like you're
Tell
you're
me
at,
something else.
You're at the movies. You got the Usher. You got like that kind of thing. I
Dude,
think.
he was wearing a monkey outfit like you would have saw on the Three Stooges in the 30s.
Yeah, like an old school theater Usher.
Yeah, like an old school
for timeless Tony Storm.
Right, for like old.
Okay.
Yeah, welcome to the party.
Okay,
Hey,
I like it. Yeah, okay. Tony went right after her, and then
That's like a monkey.
and then we got a chance to fuck her up, which I thought was awesome. Tony went to work with. This is what I was talking about with some of the move spamming. She just did I don't know, was it 5, 6, 7, 8 Germans to her to start the match? Like it was a boatload of Germans, and they looked.
Yeah, she was on the Brock Lesnar German.
She
thing
was.
Going,
It was like
going.
Suplex City. I mean, but
Yeah.
but I thought the way that she hit him with impact was really putting over how much.
Well, and Mariah was selling it good, just staying in the folded up position, even for just a second longer.
Yes, and she
It
wasn't.
makes it mean that much more.
Yeah, she wasn't popping right
That's
up.
a trust thing.
She wasn't popping right up. I really like that. They went to the outside, and then she was able to drop kick Tony into the barricade, and then she went to work with her. Tony made a comeback after the commercial. She then put Mariah in a deathlock with the crossface. The crowd was ready for that to be the finish right there, chanting tap. And then Mariah bit her way out of it, which was awesome. And then Tony threw her face into the mat and then threw the hold back on, and Mariah got to the ropes. The fans then were chanting. This was awesome. I thought this was one of the coolest parts of the match. Fuck you, Nigel, because Nigel loves Mariah May on commentary, and I'm like, this is how you know your fans are invested in this story.
I was totally with him on
Yeah,
that. Fuck you, Nigel. You fucking
I
Nigel.
know.
Nigel actually popped me a couple of times.
I know. I think
What?
he pops me too.
I love him, and I love
I
the
like
fact.
him as a heel
I
commentator.
do too, and I love
He
the
doesn't
fact.
say too much.
I love the fact that he loves Mariah.
You must have
too.
earplugs in.
I love the fact that he loves Mariah. Like that is just great.
Yeah, it's a great heel.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got his boys that he loves.
Then she hit, which this was wild. There were some hip attacks in the corner.
Dude, so they looked fucking real, like their heads
they're
were getting
laying
ripped
in.
off.
They were better than Solo
And that's
Sikoa's.
all you. I mean, that's your butt. It's how much you want her hip to hit your face.
Well, she was down for whatever, just killing her.
No,
with
yeah,
it.
she wasn't moving. She took them clean, like to her credit too. And then
Oh,
on like,
she knew that freaking camera was 6 inches behind her freaking head, too. You'd feel like I breathed down your neck.
yeah,
Yeah.
she took, and especially the very last one that she took it and got drugged like right out and was right in position.
She then hit a Storm Zero, and Mariah kicked out of that. Mariah was just like really selling the fact that she was like dead weight, but she was just like waiting for her moment to strike. She was playing possum on her. She hit a back suplex. and then the Mayday, and then another Mayday, and that that was the third one I think of the match because she gave her one on the floor too before the break, and then she kicked out of those finishers. Mariah was just slapping her around. She gave her a kiss, and then Tony hit a running powerbomb, and then a Storm Zero, and Mariah went on the outside, and then she yanked her into the buckle, hit another Storm Zero.
I like that. I like the way she held onto her arm the whole time, and she worked her way back in. You know what I'm saying? Freaking that! I really like that.
Yeah. And then instead of going for the pin, she went for another Mayday, and then Tony hit a small package for the pin, a flash pin there.
Blah.
I loved it. I know you didn't like it. I'll tell you why I loved it. This whole comeback.
Sticking with the story.
That's
how she won every match.
It's how she won
back.
every match since she's come back with the small package. And then the promo she cut on Dynamite last night. I know you guys were out at the.
Oh, it was amazing. I saw it.
Dude,
I missed it.
So funny.
I laughed my ass off when she was talking about the small package. And dude, I love this match. I thought the finish was great. The crowd goes nuts for her. Big moment. Hometown.
The small package is timeless, baby.
Small package is timeless. This was awesome. I'm going to go 4.5 stars for this. I really love this. I did. I absolutely loved it. I loved it. Ollie, what do you give it?
I'm going 4.
4?
Wow, you guys! I saw this different. I was not impressed.
You were not impressed. Wow.
Yeah, I was literally not impressed by this whole freaking match.
Wow.
The hips in the corner, and that was about. Honestly, I don't even have a note.
You don't even have a note?
Nope.
Wow.
I was not impressed with this match at all.
Really?
Between those. And what did it go? 10 minutes?
I mean, no, it was longer
15?
than that. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Is that?
You were probably passed out
entrances?
for 10.
No, I was waiting for Chinese food, watching it all.
Everything is bell to bell, Hack. We've already established that.
Shut up, Bob.
15.
Yeah, but I wasn't impressed with this match.
You didn't like, and you loved their
I love both of them.
Yeah, so
But it was just like, yeah.
what was it that you just were?
There was nothing spectacular.
I mean, what are you expecting? A fucking Will Ospreay backflip
I want something
off the top?
different. I want something different between these two.
Okay, I mean, it looks like the direction they're building up to is another match for them at Revolution, so I'm interested to see what they can pull off a third time.
Yeah,
in the
put
ring
them in a
together.
cage.
Well, actually, I wouldn't be opposed to that at all, especially because both these women are willing to blade. Like, I don't know. I mean, that would be cool. I wouldn't be against them in the cage. But what do you give the match though, Hack? What's your rating on it?
I don't know. These two girls, it's got to be a 4.
Oh, you hated it, but you give it a 4.
I know, but I gotta respect. I respect the two. 'Cause I love both of them.
I know you
They
did.
just had a bad night.
A bad night's a 4. Okay, Ty, what do you give it?
Your system's trash.
Bangers are correct. What a system is. First of all, I was the one who invented this system. Thank you. It was my idea.
Yeah, the first rotary phone was trash
Well, I
too.
know,
Whoever
but
invented that, and then it got better.
No, but the best part about the system is it's from whose viewpoint you're looking at.
Yes.
I know, but you trashed the whole thing and then give it a 4. That made no sense
I know, because I
whatsoever.
gotta respect the two people that were in the ring.
You like the hip in the corner. That gives a 4 baggers.
That was my face.
I know.
Fair point. Fair
Ty,
point.
what do you give it?
I wish it would have been a pay-per-view. Because the vitriol of the angle deserved more.
I think that's coming next match.
Same.
So if there is the next one, then
point, Ollie.
then we'll get there. But the title change and everything, and I know it's Australia, you wanted to give it to Tony there. There's so much vitriol and hate in this angle. I wish they could have done so much more with more time and more, pay-per-view.
Could you dog collar?
You
Tony
could.
and Mariah?
You could do anything with these two. I'm not.
Yeah,
There's no.
like you
that
said, they're
would be
both willing.
something.
They're both willing to bleed. They're both willing to bump.
Oh, yeah.
That's. I feel like that's what this match does. deserve.
Last woman standing. You
Yeah,
can do
like-
anything with
yeah,
these
like-
two. Anything.
The fact that they were
Dog
friends.
power bomb explosion cage match.
Yes.
With TLC.
With Onita, yes, with Onita, yes.
And a,
Run it
and
back.
a scaffold.
Yeah,
That-
dude.
you'll need
Do
you to
it.
build
Yeah,
that.
do a scaffold.
You start on the scaffold.
Luther takes a bump off the scaffold. How
Yeah.
about that? Let's do it. Tony Khan.
Luther Grimes.
Yeah.
Luther
I can
Grimes.
see him getting
Bombs
hit
away.
like Tony's ass off the
Yes.
top.
Ty, what do you give the match?
That's funny.
Ultimately, I still thought it was a good match, so I'll give it a 3. But I just wished it was more because of the angle.
I would love a dog collar between
Me
those
too.
two.
You know what? I gotta
Sick.
change mine. I gotta change. Now that I heard Ty's through, I'm giving it a 4.1.
Oh,
here we
4.1.
go.
He's moving on up.
Just went up.
Fuck can I possibly have said?
I don't
On
know.
the possibility of a death match between those two. It went up.
He's fantasy booking the death match in his head right now.
Exploding like two
In
matches.
FMW, he's fantasy booking the match. I thought this was a super fun show. I really enjoyed this. There was nothing bad on this show at all, really. It was a great show. No, I'm serious. I love the show.
No, I'm just thinking of like Tony Storm coming in like a hot air balloon, like an old school hot air balloon, like timeless Tony Storm, like
Oh my God, like Willy Wonka. Or
like
fucking,
like landing on top of the scaffold for like the match, like
fucking Oz.
Yeah.
Coming like Oz.
yeah, she's outside the arena, she's in color or she's in
I get
black and white.
goosebumps. You just saying this. I
And then,
really am.
and then comes into the arena
That would
and
be
it's
so
in color.
badass.
Yeah, like and Luther's dressed as Toto.
Wow.
Like,
Wow.
No,
She throws the sandbags down, one hits him in the head. He's like scurrying to get it.
there you go,
Yeah.
Tony Khan. Give us the book.
Luther.
Speaking
There's
of,
no place like home.
what do you guys overall on the show? Thoughts on the show overall?
Yeah, dude, I thought it was good. I mean, I thought it was an action-packed show, and you gave the fans exactly what they wanted. I mean, crowd was great, matches were good,
Yeah,
good show.
Hack.
I don't know. A couple matches carried the show for me.
Well, there was only
There was
five.
only 5.
So
Well,
what?
yeah, but you know what I mean. The girls' matches both blew. I mean, if you think about it, to me.
The 4.1?
I did think about it, and I thought they were
You ever
good.
liked the girls' match?
Yes, he has. He's liked a bunch.
No, but these were just like. Bleh.
Ty.
I liked it. It was a very entertaining show. I wish, a couple things here and there, obviously, but all in all, it was entertaining. It was a good watch.
Yeah. Next week on the show, guys, speaking of Oz, Hack, we are doing our worst gimmicks ever next week.
Oh,
I thought we were going to say that.
We're doing it next week. We got our worst gimmicks ever, so I cannot wait to review these.
Dude, are you
And-
sure? Don't we want to save that for the boys down in Philly?
No, we got other ideas for that, dude. We'll do something else for one of those ones, man. We got to the worst gimmicks ever show.
hold on.
Well, hold on.
I saw a very interesting question on Twitter today,
Okay.
and it pertains to something with wrestling, but I'd love to get yours and Hack's take on it particularly.
All right, let's just spit it the fuck out. Kid.
Okay.
All right, out of every United States president, who are you taking to win a Royal Rumble?
Man, I mean, I don't know. Rumblers. So they got to be able to rumble in there. They got to be able to hold on to the ropes. I mean, it's tough to not go
No,
honest.
to me it's pretty easy.
Okay.
Because there was a couple of badass dudes.
You like Andrew Jackson? Is that who you're going with?
No, he was small.
FDR.
He was short. No, he was an invalid.
Teddy was a bad dude.
He was an
Teddy was a bad.
Yeah.
I said FDR was
I'm
a joke.
going with fucking with Abe.
Honest Abe. Honest
Yeah,
Abe.
go with Abe.
That was going to be
Really,
my. That
I
was
mean,
gonna
he
be
could
my,
really, he could really wrestle. Apparently, honest
Right.
Abe.
Thomas Jefferson.
Thomas Jefferson. I mean, George Washington was a bad dude too, man. You don't mess with those wooden
Those
teeth.
dudes had less wind than I have right now. They'd be blown up by the time they got their wig off.
Their wigs. I'm picturing a powdered wig spot. It'd be like when you hit the ECW
Dropping
zombie.
elbow on the powdered wig.
No, it'd be like-
Oh my god, that's the greatest thing
It'll be
ever.
like when you hit the ECW zombie and the dust came off it. If you hit one of the original founding
I
fathers,
can see the indignance of George Washington when I'm fucking painted his powdered wig and his horse's feet and fucking Chappaquiddick.
Oh, there'd be wigs.
I had to say Chappaquiddick.
Got it. Oh, God. As always, send in listener questions to sandmanpod@gmail.com. Angelo from Medford, New Jersey writes in,
Angelo.
Hey, Hack Pack, longtime listener here. Love the Philly sports talk
Thanks,
as well.
brother.
as the wrestling analysis from the gang. I feel like Ty is one more mention of his ECW career away from Ollie snapping and pulling an HBK barbershop on him. That's awesome. A man can only take so much, damn it. My question is for Hack. Do you recall, so this is already going to be a no.
No. Say no.
All right, next question.
No. His question was, do you recall a parking lot incident in 97, 98 behind the arena? No. Ty's laughing here already. It's not sexual.
I thought it was going to be somewhat recent. This has got no shot.
I'm all over this.
Settle in, Angelo.
No, that sounds familiar. Keep going.
97, 98. I know it's answering this. Here we go. Behind the arena, Tammy and Chris Candido were being harassed by some guys and turned into a brawl with multiple wrestlers making the save, including Sabu, New Jack, and the great Sasuke. Sasuke was said to be dealing out karate kicks left and right. Is there any truth to this incident, or is it all an urban legend?
All right, my first question is, who the hell is Sasuke?
You don't know the great Sasuke,
Yes,
man.
you know
Yes,
who
you
he
know
is.
him.
I'd have to see a picture of him.
Oh, God. You know the great Sasuke, dude. Come on. And
And Sabu's not a fighter, and who was the other person?
New Jack.
All right, New Jack could have been fucking had his trash can with him.
So,
Sabu probably.
I don't remember.
you don't remember this incident. So,
No, I don't remember any fight ever in the arena.
you know the great Sasuke. Yeah, you know him.
Yeah, he was like 5'4". He was
Okay.
getting his ass kicked.
But you don't remember.
Dude, he was slinging kicks.
was
I
slinging
remember.
kicks.
I was. You know, that was
Ty.
around the time I remember that. There was bicycle kicks galore going on out there.
Sorry, Angelo. He doesn't remember that one. Darren from the Grimsby in the UK writes in, hello, everyone from a really cold United Kingdom.
Yeah, it's cold over here too, bud.
Yeah.
I wondered if anyone remembers the ice hockey gimmick known as the Goon. He was supposedly a player who got banned from every league he participated in. I just thought it was a dumb gimmick due to the fact that all he ever did was body check as his main offense. Wild Bill Irwin, who wrestled throughout the 70s and throughout the 80s,
Wild Bill.
portrayed the gimmick in 96 and 97. I never understood why WWE thought that the occupational gimmicks would be something the fans would want to see, especially a plumber, a garbage man, or a tax man. I do have a question for you guys. What do you think the WWF should have done to help boost the ratings at that time instead of using occupational gimmicks? Keep up the phenomenal work, everyone, and thank you again. So, Hack, what
we were doing.
dude, that's absolutely
Yeah,
right.
been more ahead of the curve.
Go to reality-based or more real, or grounded in some level of realism.
Well, yeah, but what's more reality
Start
based?
showing
What's more
cleavage.
reality
Than a
based
plumber?
than a plumber? You know? I mean, as shitty as it sounds, I'm just saying, like, if you're trying to relate to somebody, like, you're putting out, like, the big boss man, like a cop,
Your
like
dentist.
yeah, Dr. Yankum, like. I'm just saying, like,
No, you're playing devil's advocate, but I kind of agree.
it failed
It's something what a
ultimately.
kid will relate to because that's what they were trying to relate to a kid.
Right, like
I don't know about them knowing what the repo man is unless their parents are real pieces of shit.
yeah, or IRS or IRS, like whatever. Like,
Mom's got to give the IRS agent a blowjob out back.
And then the repo man comes out the curtain. Kid's like, I've seen that guy at all.
no, that was a
Mommy,
raccoon.
that's him.
No, that's a raccoon, son. That's a raccoon.
We'll be talking more about this next week, but I do agree, Hack, where, like, yeah, those gimmicks were just complete trash. But Bob from Broomall writes in,
Hey.
Hack, the Sandy Seeds, and the Walter Cronkite
Alright,
podcast.
Got a new
Seeds, I
name
like-
for us every
yeah.
week, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's doing some good work, Bob.
I would love to know how the Sandman Survival backpack went for the parade, and did the football get any autographs?
Oh, hiss these losers.
All right, so the position I ended up getting in for the parade, there was, zero opportunity to really throw onto the float. We were early on in the parade, and the way actually it goes, they were going a little bit faster than we anticipated.
Yeah,
Like-
because you're on Oregon Avenue. Once they go slower, once they turn on the Broad Street.
Right, they ended up like the one stopped a little bit like in front of us, but like as soon as like that first one kept going, like they actually were going a little bit faster and didn't like stop like they were further down the route. So it wasn't.
So that's called a failed miserably, just so you know.
It just wasn't advantageous, for a football. Like they weren't really looking for you know, it wasn't like they were stopped right in front of
Yeah,
us.
they weren't shit-faced yet. Like a couple of them got like 15 blocks
Yeah,
later.
right. We were just, you know, but all in all, it was a great time.
Yeah, but you would have had a way better chance, like on Broad Street when the parade was backing up and the guys were getting out and everything. Like
Yeah,
that.
like none of them were really out
dude,
yet, like, and
they're doing
anything like
50
that.
miles an hour in the school zone by.
Well,
Yeah.
how did the bottle of Crown Apple go? That's what I mean.
That went great.
Yeah.
That went
All right.
down really well.
They didn't even finish it.
Oh,
What do you mean?
I was over at Love Park, basically the entire parade.
Did you
I
get a
told
picture
him
with
to
the
bring
Love Hurts?
Yeah, I
condoms
got
and
my
go
mom
to
did,
Love
yeah,
Park.
yeah.
Love Hurt sign.
yeah.
I pretty much watched the parade from there, and there was music playing in the park, and I was just getting shit faced and dancing with everybody.
Yeah, when I
We were
when
doing
I
like
got
the cha-cha slide and shit in the middle of Love Park, like 200 people. It was pretty
yeah, it was Broad in Oregon, and I found a DJ set up like right next to a stage, and like there was just people like going nuts. Like the DJ was playing the whole time. Fucking, it was a party. The Crown Royal was flowing.
Yeah, I had a phone charger, 2 condoms, and like 12 beers in my bag.
That was what
And
he
was
said
it.
last
Dude,
week when I
I
was
told
leaving
him,
here.
he brings
said,
dude,
Ollie,
I've been late at a mummers parade. Dude.
Ollie,
You never know.
as I'm leaving here last week, Hack is like, I can just hear him in the house yell, Ollie, you got us. That's the only thing I hear, and I'm dying laughing walking up your driveway. Bob also asks, who's on everyone's Mount Rushmore of hottest women in the business? For me, it's Franny, Trish, Crystal Marshall, and Sable.
Dude, is your vision like 80, 90?
What?
Who's Crystal Marshall?
He's an idiot.
What?
Everybody's got their own preference.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's what it is.
All right,
Yeah.
Hack, who's
Don't
your
name
four?
somebody I
You
don't
don't
know.
like Trish, you don't like Sable, you don't like Franny. I mean, we know you love Franny.
Yeah, but I don't think.
Who's Crystal Marshall?
I don't know. He
What's
said
her name?
to Crystal
Billy
Marshall.
Kidman's girl is one
Tori
of them.
Wilson,
Tori
number one
Wilson.
Tori
seed.
Wilson's right there. Freaking. What's her name? And not in any specific order. The girl that I always get my picture taken with.
My wife, Kelly.
Yeah, Kelly.
Your wife.
She's right there.
Kelly
The other girl with the huge boobs that sued Vince
Yeah.
but came back and was
Sable.
with Brock. Sable.
He had Sable on
She's
his list.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And number, dude. Franny, you know me. I don't like girls with blonde hair. I mean brown hair. But what's her name? Raven's girl that was with me and Chastity. Chastity was smoking.
Okay. That's Hack's list there. We'll have to think about that one.
All
That's
blondes.
all blondes. He's a blonde guy.
Yeah, total blonde guy.
So Franny, if you really want to have fun, March 9th when we go to Ohio, get some blonde hair.
I saw you
That was
tweet
just her
at
birthday.
I saw you tweeted
Oh,
her
today.
too. You buried her with the. You don't look. She said I had 53, had whatever birthday, and Hack said you don't look a day older than 52. You buried her with the line. I was like, that's great. I was like,
Well, usually I throw in, well, how many filters did you use to get you to look like that?
you're such a ball buster,
Because
dude.
she uses a filter. You can tell she's using a filter.
Every female does.
Yeah, that's just a known thing. Lyle from Oklahoma City writes in,
All right, Oklahoma City.
love the podcast, been catching up on the archives since I first discovered the show. You guys do a fantastic
You see,
job.
Thanks,
you
brother.
with Dwight Manfredi out there?
That's White Man Freddy. Yes, Tulsa King. Watch it too.
That's great.
It's a guilty pleasure watch.
Oh, gotta love it.
You
Dwight-
popped me with the Dwight Manfredi line. I'm like, I wasn't expecting to hear that today. It's my favorite listen of the week for wrestling podcast.
Thank you, bud.
Terry Funk is a name that gets some credit in some circles, but wanted to ask Hack why he doesn't get the love that some other legends, i.e. Hogan, Flair, Savage, Dusty, and Hart get. Keep up the great work, and congrats to the Eagles.
Thank you, buddy.
Well, a lot of it would probably have to do with that Funk was making money not in the United States. In the biggest, him and his brother were doing Japan, probably making like $20,000 a week or something like that. You know what I mean? And had their time off. It's like Funk didn't really get to WWF or because it was when he did Chainsaw Charlie.
No, he was there in the late 80s too.
Yeah,
so
but for a cup of coffee, not for like a real long time. You know what
he
I'm
never
saying?
got a big New York run, so I think that's
Right.
part of the reason why maybe he's not regarded in some circles as a
Exactly.
great.
He never had that huge. That
Well, and
huge New York
TV
run.
wise, right? I mean, like Hogan was, but they all got. Well, everybody that he mentioned was still like on huge TV, going into the 90s and throughout the 90s, so like that, but like Funk really what,
Funk was like the wrestling fans or the wrestlers' favorite wrestler.
Funk
like
wasn't Vince's dude.
Right, which is why the
That's
story
it.
is not told of Funk being
That's
the great.
it. He was not Vince's dude.
And he
wasn't going to be Vince's dude.
he was his own man.
Yep.
And so that's like, unfortunately, the winners write the stories.
Dude, same thing with the Bachwinkles. Same thing with the other dudes in AWA. And what's the other family? Bachwinkles.
The Crockett's?
No, the Briscoes.
The Briscoes, okay.
Same thing with those guys, dude. You gotta understand, Vince took over their fucking territories and put them freaking almost out of business at some point, all those guys.
Right.
So, there's some heat in between them wanting to work for him and Vince saying, all right, I don't care, I don't need you.
And it's kind of the story gets told his way instead of the way it actually was sometimes.
Yeah, and Vince is the biggest player in the game. So if you ain't in the NFL, the NBA, the MLB, dude, you're an indie.
But those who know, and Terry Funk, obviously, all-time great.
Real wrestling historians know.
Yeah, real wrestling fans know. Kathy from Jacksonville writes in.
All right, Cat.
Hey, Cat.
Yeah, Kathy. Huge fan of the podcast. It's my favorite show to listen to.
Cat.
I attended Hardcore Heaven 97 at the War Memorial
I was
Auditorium
God that night.
where you stole the ambulance.
Oh, that one.
Wanted to hear your thoughts.
Wait, I thought, where did she say?
The War Memorial Auditorium
In Lauderdale.
in Lauderdale,
Okay, yeah, that's where it was.
where you stole the ambulance.
I was drunk and they were letting me drive it down the street, those idiots.
Oh my God,
Dude, because they put me in the ambulance because there's I don't know, I forget the whole exact angle was I'm saving like Sabu and Van Dam maybe or something.
from the
like that.
WWF guys, I think. Or something
Yeah,
like that.
something. So, and the kid, and I was supposed to be hot at the kid, what was his name? Jason. There was another announcer. Good looking young boy.
I can't.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Whoever that kid was.
Yeah, I
He
know
was
who
like an
you're talking
MTV
about.
kind of guy.
He was responsible for my segment. So instead of being like, oh my God, the Sandman stole an ambulance. He's driving down A1A towards the arena right now. He was like, well, I think that's the Sandman that maybe could be driving. And he just totally blew the whole segment. So everybody was pissed at him, but to me, I'm like, you get it sometimes,
Okay, we're gonna have to do this one on a future
Yeah,
show.
but I was literally drunk driving the ambulance, and they're talking on the freaking not on the radio in their thing, on a handheld.
I was gonna say, yeah, like we got a 418. Yeah.
Jesus
yeah.
Christ.
So,
She also said, wanted to hear your thoughts on working Florida as well as this building. It was a complete blast to see ECW in its prime. Keep up the great work.
Building was fucking great. I mean, it was right there. Like it's like the arena, and then what's the one in New York?
Queen, the Elks Lodge?
Yeah, it's like the arena, Elks Lodge, and then maybe the Dome in Pittsburgh. But then it would be like we all loved going to Florida, like Davie Arena. We worked at. I worked Cactus one time, but we did. The Lauderdale Armory probably like 5, 6, 7 times.
Yeah, and I think that's where this show was. So,
Yeah, it was. I know. Yeah, I know. Definitely, I know
Yeah.
it was there.
thank you for the question.
I drove the ambulance into the back of the fucking stairs.
Yeah, keep writing in.
We're gonna have to do this show in a future show. Kevin from Dayton, Ohio, writes
Whoa.
in. Yeah,
This
here we
will be
go.
Loser.
This
You
is-
better be groveling
Here
today.
we go. Well, fellas, I must give credit where credit is due. You scumbags did it. I want to issue my deepest apology for being anti-Eagles and hope to someday experience a world championship here from the Browns. Please.
Good luck.
Yeah,
We'll
right.
be taking Miles Garrett from you in a couple months.
Oh my God, how great would that be? We can't afford him.
We can't afford
I
it.
know Howie can do anything now.
Yeah, in Howie we trust. I hope we
What
get
did
him.
Burroughs say this week? He
Jeffrey
goes.
Lurie will drop off a couple of double bags at his house and we'll be good.
But Burrow or something said this week. He goes, I don't know how the Eagles do it, but it always seems like that
Our
they
owner.
don't even care about a cat.
It's
because
true.
we have an owner who's willing to spend money.
My question this week is to Hack. It was the recent 30-year anniversary of the passing of Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert. His final match was against a bear in Puerto Rico. What are your memories of working with him and his handling of the booking in early ECW? Ollie's dying laughing. I guess it's true. He died after wrestling.
Was that?
I don't think he died from the bear.
I was gonna say, was that the cause of death?
No, I don't think it was, but I think he died after. Ollie's laughing. It's
A
not.
bear killed him.
No, bear did not
That's
maul
what I
any.
heard.
Was the name Dewey?
No.
I'm laughing because my immediate thought went to fucking semi.
Semi-pro.
Yes.
And Dewey the bear?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. That's not how Hot Stuff died. I think he
Spumoni!
I think he passed.
Spumoni!
I think he passed away. I think he passed away in a hotel. Unfortunately, Hack. Do you have memories of Hot Stuff? Working with them?
No, I was so young in the business, and he was only there for a cup of coffee.
Okay, but he was the original booker in ECW, right? I mean,
Todd
yeah.
was the original booker.
With Hot Stuff, though, I feel like no.
Todd's Hot Stuff wasn't around in the very, very beginning.
Pretty sure he was.
I'm pretty sure I was there, and I can
We've
guarantee
heard that one before.
Wow. There's a 50%
Can we get
chance
Todd
I'm
on the line? Can we please get Todd on the line to correct you?
There's a
Todd would be like, Hack, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
He hired you.
He taught me. Yeah, come up with a better question next time, Kevin, you
Dude,
loser.
I'm telling you, Eddie Gilbert was not the original booker.
Okay.
Todd was.
Next week on
Todd put the belt on me, not Eddie Gilbert,
Okay.
when I beat Morocco.
Okay. Next week on the show,
You were just agreeing to anything right there.
Well, no, I
Okay.
don't know. I don't.
Okay.
I'm asking.
Okay.
I'm asking you, man. I don't know. We're gonna have to ask the expert.
A
which is-
minute ago, you were laughing with these two chumps telling me I was a moron.
no, I don't.
Fuck you call me?
No. Ollie said, "Well."
You are a moron.
Next week on the show, the worst gimmicks in wrestling history. We'll be sure to have the Sandman character on there.
How
But
many are we doing? Like, what's she saying?
I
Sure,
said
Hack will be on
we'll
there?
be sure to have the Sandman character on there.
What are we doing? Like a top five? Like
Yeah,
a
we'll
top
have a list
All
of
right.
gimmicks we're going over.
The
But
worst characters ever.
before we go, the cane of the week and the toast of the week, Hack.
Oh, dude. So, did you guys hear about the dude that his wife buys him Eagles tickets buys him tickets to the Super Bowl, but then he tells her that I'm taking my best friend from college. He ends up after the Eagles score on the Tron kissing his freaking his friend that he took from work. His chick that he took from
really?
work.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Gets fired because you're not supposed to be in a relationship with anybody that you're working with.
Wow.
The wife stooged him off.
Wow. Good for her.
Oh, so is he the wait?
Yeah.
So is he the cane or the toast?
Yeah. What is it, Hack?
Both.
Fire one up. Yeah. You need a buddy. Crack one up.
No, the wife gets it for telling his work and fucking hiring an attorney.
I love it. All right. We'll catch you next week. Like, share, review.
Peace.
Ain't it foggy outside?